What is the stream being subjected to?
Hello and welcome to the grand finals of Jet Set Radio Future Bingo. Today's match is going to be a best of 5 with two teams battling it out for the chance to be the Jet Set Radio Future Bingo champions. Today, in the blue corner, from the roars of Sky Dinosaurian Square to the dazzling lights of 99th Street, dancing in the dark side, so far undefeated, it's Krabby and Daft7 from Team Dabbi. And in the green corner, from the depths of Dogen to the heights of Hikage, it's the light side lightning, weighing in a whopping 54 kilograms. It's 7th Ace and Jake Yaz from 54 Keys. But that's enough from me. Time to introduce our commentators. The duo that thought Bingo was a waste disposal company, it's Twinkachu and Eclapricious.
Always with the great
Another
intros.
Stunning intro.
That's us better at this than we are.
Yeah, again, I don't know how to follow that, so
Yeah.
I'll just head out. See you later, everyone.
Yeah. Welcome back to Bingo. I am trying to count our teams in. We'll be revealing the board in just a minute, so hand it to Ekla while I try to talk and count at the same time.
It can be difficult, yeah. This is going to be so good. I've been waiting for this since the semi-finals, obviously. But I think I kind of secretly was hoping for this to be the final. I think the best of 3 that they played in the round robin was stunning. Like, it was so good. And I'm really excited to see these two teams play again.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's the best story of this bingo tournament to have these two teams in the final, because you've got the two veterans, the two perhaps most experienced, with the two newest bingo players paired up, and I think, yeah, it is a really good conclusion to a really good story for a really good tournament.
Yeah, it's kind of the it's the matchup we were expecting to see, but the way we got here is just not at all what anyone is expecting. Also, we've got 4 graffitis in one column on this board.
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe there are 3, but are there 4? There are 4.
No, there are 4. SDPP, it's back again. It's here for the finals. Exciting stuff. Hikage, RDH, and Dogen all in that column 5 bingo. That is ridiculous.
So, as much as I would love to see a team do that, it's not gonna happen. Because these are mortal men.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really exciting to see where the graffitis go and how they're prioritized, because they are all in pretty strong strategic places, and SDPP is something that Ace has personally really wanted to see and wanted to play, so let's see how it all plays out as we get into game 1.
Yeah, Fospo points out that's a 16-point bingo.
I mean, it would be insane to try and rush it. I just don't think it's possible, but it would be really cool if we saw it.
It would be great. And not at all realistic.
So both teams kind of heading out to the same parts of the map right now, as we see Ace and Daft in RDH right now, and Jakey and Krabby in Dogen.
Let's see, what is in those areas? RDH
Ace
has...
the first tile.
Yeah, RDH has 2 good defaults, Unlock Rith, and of course that graffiti, whereas Dogen has 3 unlockable souls, so both of them early rush for the tape. And then also graffiti, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so graffiti in both of these areas, so it'd be interesting to see if either team partial sprays when they're in here. Haven't seen a whole lot of it yet from anyone, but Ace is going to be out ahead in RDH right now, while Krabby and Jakey pretty even in Dogen. But Daft actually got to that RDH soul, the second soul, quicker. Huh.
Interesting.
He actually grabbed that one away. I didn't quite follow how that played out, but well played to Daft there, trading souls as they both now head into sewers.
We see... Oh, it looks like Krabby messed up the... Maybe messed up an unlock? No, that was intentional. Is Jake... Jake seems to be ditching Dogen Air 3 in favor of starting Graffiti and maybe prioritizing the other souls, because he's contesting Krabby here. Krabby not going for Graffiti at all, which should leave Jake pretty free to do it should he want. Dogen is one of the quicker routes.
And we see now Ace and Daft both in bottom point for some of the souls there, and so far it's a really strong start for Dabbi, actually. We love to see 54 keys with their early gameplay, picking up as many souls as quickly as possible at the start of a match, but that hasn't quite worked out for them here, because Dabbi have been off to a really strong start as well.
Yeah. We see Dabbi threatening an early bingo in column 4. 99th grind is a pretty quick pickup, but Kibo upper platform at end is going to be the 2 world soul, which requires committing to a full lap of Kibo, which might be worth it for the bingo, but is still a pretty big time.
There's there's points 250k in Kibo as well, but I'm not sure. I mean, they're both on the same row. I think Kibo's not a terrible gambit here if they're really going to push for that bingo, because they set them up for a decent row 2 bingo as well.
Daft is in Kibo, uncontested. Ace is working on sewers. So, let's see. Jake is leaving Dogen, though, and will have priority if he goes to 99th to block that bingo.
It's a smart move, and he did get that partial spray down on Dogen as well, so something he can come back to later.
Did Ace fall in sewers, or... Yeah, Ace fell. Let's see, what are the sewer souls? We've got Grind 10, which is, of the unlockable sewer souls, is the fastest, I believe. It spawns only halfway up rather than all the way at the top. And then there's Air 4, which is a full sewers climb.
They're both on the same column, but Daft is already in Kibo, and you can imagine he'll be able to block any potential column 1 bingo just by picking up the 250k points, which, to be fair, is a pretty tricky unlock, but...
Direct your attention to Jake and Krabby, who are in 99th racing for that grind soul. They're taking different routes to the soul. Jake taking the wires and unlocking it on his way there, with Krabby choosing to kind of delay in the start in favor of a more direct route.
That was ridiculously close, but that's a bingo picked up for Dabbi.
Yeah. I was
Really,
expecting
really
that to go to Jake, honestly. He had the better management. That came down to stream delay on our end. So that's an early bingo for Dabbi.
Dabbi, yeah. Very early bingo, and that really kind of messes with a lot of what 54 keys want to do. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to pick up bingos in response now, other than that column 5. And the column 1, which again we expect Daft to be able to deny with the Kibo point soul. It's going to be a lot harder for them to pick up any bingos in response.
Unless they go for that column 5.
Yeah, column 5 or column 2 are their options right now. Column 2 is a bit all over the place though. Shuo, SDPP, Highway 0, RDH. Another one in Highway 0. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility, but still not a quick and easy bingo to pick up.
And with Dabbi way ahead on, not way ahead, but ahead on points, maybe way ahead on points, they kind of have the freedom to go wherever they want and deny bingos.
And we see Krabby now in Highway 0 doing exactly that, taking away the column 2 bingo possibility. Daft will be able to unlock points, I imagine, relatively soon in Kibo. You can do it on the wall rides here, which is not the meta strategy, but I like this one a lot. I think it's a bit more reliable if you don't fall. He almost had it. I think it was one trick away.
In bingo, honestly, unlocking it on the wall rides is often optimal. It's kind of a more consistent unlock, and you can unlock it like on your way to the pickup rather than having to hang out in the back half.
He's going for the fence jump. He's going to make it, but it might be a little too late for him to be going to Kibo now.
Yeah, although Daft is struggling with this unlock here.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Krabby is taking everything out of Highway Zero right now, picking up the Air 5 Soul as well as that default. So that, yeah, it pretty much forces 54 Keys to get that Kibo Point Soul for that bingo to remain kind of in the game.
But also, that requires Daft to finish unlocking the soul, which he is having a bit of trouble with.
Yeah, has he still not unlocked it?
It seems that Ace has missed fence jump 1 or 2 times. Yeah, he still doesn't have it. You need to stay. Is that it? That looks like it's it. Yeah. Alright. So, rip to this bingo for Ace.
That's quite unfortunate, but that means now Graffiti becomes the absolute highest priority for 54 Keys, since no more bingos available for them.
I would
a bingo already locked
would,
in for Dabbi.
Yeah, I would hope we would see Jake kind of rushing for a bingo in reaction to, or a Graffiti rather, in reaction to that. Column 5 bingo, still an option.
Yeah, I mean, it's still possible. It would be completely crazy. Especially as now Ace is in FRZ, which is... I don't know if that's really where he needs to be right now. There's 1 soul in FRZ, not particularly strategic either. But I suppose he's in the area and he feels like he might as well just pick it up. Needs as many points from as many sources as possible. Jakey back in Dogen can probably finish off the Graffiti here.
Yeah, that's a good play. I think that is what he needs to be doing right now.
It's a huge lead for Dabbi right now, though.
Yeah.
12 points to 6, I believe.
Let's do some math. It'll
Almost
be
13
to 6. Yeah, because bingos are 3 points. They've got 10 squares plus a bingo versus 54 keys, just 6 squares.
And thinking about how these teams play, I believe coming into this match they were actually tied for bingos. The difference comes in Graffiti versus just general souls. 54 Keys pick up the most souls of any team in the tournament, and Dabbi get the most Graffiti squares. But we know that 54 Keys love to get going early, love to pick up as many souls in the early game as possible, and they really weren't able to do that this time around. Dabbi stopped them in their tracks, and they're kind of capitalizing on that right now.
They've really been throwing off the rhythm here.
Now we see Jakey in Chuo trying to deny the row 2 bingo by picking up the special soul here. And I think he'll be able to do this since we see Daft in RDH. Krabby looks like he's heading out to Shibuya Cho, but Jakey certainly has the advantage here, but it really does feel like 54 Keys are playing catch-up and having to respond to everything that Dabbi's doing. They're using the pressure really effectively.
Yeah, Jake is doing kind of a neat tricks unlock. You can pick the tape up under this kind of dinosaur thing, and then unlock it on the back by slowing down enough, and then the soul spawns right in front of it. Although I think he's going
if
a
you
little
don't
too fast.
boom a trick. I think he got the setup, but he boomed a trick. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a really cool setup. It makes that trick that soul very quick to pick up.
And then Dabbi is here now.
I don't know if that's the priority for Jakey though, like with special being so powerful on the board for Dabbi. But Krabby's not going for it either. He's also going for the tricks unlock.
Daft is unlocking right? Rith, which sets up another bingo, which they need the 30 tricks
goodness. For. This is...
Krabby's unlocked it.
What a game 1 from Dabbi.
Yeah, Jake doesn't have it.
This is
tragic.
Mental warfare.
So that's a double bingo for Dabbi.
With the potential for a third as well with Chuo Special Hikage Graffiti. Really not the start to the finals that 54 Keys wanted.
Krabby not going for that other 201, perhaps leaving it for Jake, but Jake is also leaving the area.
Important to note that with the 6 tiles left on the board, 4 of them are graffiti squares now. So,
We see Daft and Ace both working on RDH graffiti.
Krabby's in Hikage, Jakey back in Dogen, so it
I'm
looks
getting
like 4
pinged by
graffiti.
chat, who is pointing out that Dabby's squares look kind of like a dog.
Correct, yes.
Thanks, chat.
This is why we love you, chat. Never change.
It's kind of a weird looking dog, but I'll give it to you.
So yeah,
Alright.
I'd say direct your attention here to Ace and Daft racing for the RDH graffiti. We'll see who picks that up first, though this does feel a little bit like a formality at this point. The graffiti could still swing it, potentially.
Yeah, let's see. Ace is ahead by about 10 tags. We've got Krabby working on Hikage and Jake finishing up that Dogen, which leaves SDPP. If Dabbi
Wouldn't it
gets
be poetic if it came down to SDPP graffiti?
it would.
But if we run the numbers here, I believe it's 18-7 at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I believe, yeah, 1 graffiti to Dabbi will submit it for them. So let's see, what is left on the board? We've got... I think we have like 14 points left on the board.
14 points by my count.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But
one
one
graffiti
of
would
those-
put Dabby at 21.
So 54 keys need everything else on the board right now.
Which is, it's just not feasible with Krabby
Yeah.
uncontested in Hikage right now.
Mhm.
Really, really strong showing from Dabby in game 1. Just never missed a beat, really.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, where do we think 54 keys kind of went wrong here? I mean, the early game just kind of threw them off their rhythm with... They went to the same areas, I guess they just got sniped.
Yeah, I think I don't think Ace expected to trade souls in RDH with Daft. He's usually very confident in his ability to win out in those one-on-one situations, but they did eventually trade, and yeah, just the general early game plan I don't think quite went how 54's keys wanted it, and we've seen it a few times that that's really their weak point. When they don't get their strong early game, they do struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say Dabby is better at coming back from a messy early game. But we've still got plenty more games to go with this being a best of 5.
Absolutely, yeah. At least 3 games. So
At
we will
least.
get the game 3 that we love.
We love a game 3, but today we could have a game 4 or 5, depending on how this goes.
Yeah, and
Or
I would love to
offense.
see how 54 Keys respond to this game and what they do to change up their strategy, whether they change up their strategy or whether they double down on going for the early game and just hoping for a better board or just a better, turn of fate in game 2.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we do have 2 very... I would say 2 teams that have very clear ways that they like to win games. But the ability to adapt on the fly within a game could be the deciding factor here.
Jake and Ace both mark their respective graffiti squares. Let's see. Dabbi still working on Hikage, it looks like. Daft got sniped to that RDH. I didn't see by how much, but it was decently close, I think. And we've got Ace rushing for Dark Side SDPP. Or maybe he's going
Maybe
for those
go
last
straight to Sky Dino? He does
Yeah.
need everything.
Mhm.
Can't afford to give anything up, but
Jake is
Krabby
getting
now
started
finishing
on
off
Hikage,
Hikage.
but that's a mistake.
yeah, I mean, it would take a Herculean effort for him to win this.
I know we say this every time, but this is one of those Krabby's Xbox would have to explode kind of moments.
I mean, literally, yeah. He's got, what, 10 tags left?
Less than that. He's just got, like, the rest of this room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 3 tags. Versus Jake's 40 more tags to go.
Yeah, it was difficult. But we can still hope for a symmetrical board. You know? That's...
If one of them goes to Chuo, they get a 3rd bingo.
We have a very aesthetically pleasing board. I'm happy.
We do. Now it's 2 dogs and they're looking away from each other. Exactly. That's... Well, now it's not a 2-headed dog anymore because another square got marked, but...
It's a graffiti soul. Yeah? Or a minion? No?
Nope. Daft actually sniped out that Sky Dino soul, although it looks like Ace was working on graffiti rather than prioritizing that.
So I believe that will decide it. That confirms that Dabbi do win game 1. But we'll see how the last 2 play out.
Decent margin. Yeah, we've got... Okay, Jake is in Chuo preventing that 3rd bingo. Which honestly might just be BM at this point, if they went for it, but...
It would possibly be the biggest win in the tournament if they did get this bingo.
I think we had another game with 3 bingos, but I don't think it had this much graffiti, so I don't know how the
graffiti
points
would definitely change the point differential. And Ace has been so outspoken about wanting SDPP graffiti. This is the 2nd game, or the 3rd game, I think, that we've had it in, and it just doesn't never
matter.
Been decisive. It's just never mattered.
Yeah. You really hate to see it.
Still, up to 4 more boards for it to be on, and perhaps it will be the deciding factor in one of them. But yeah, just reflecting on this board, the 4 graffitis in a single column, and the fact that it looks like 54 keys will get 3 of them. They almost did it. They just didn't have enough people.
Tragic.
Maybe if it was a 3v3 tournament.
That sounds so chaotic.
I have no idea how I would design a layout for a 3v3 bingo tournament, so...
I think you just need a bigger board. Like a 6x6 board, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's next season.
Maybe.
Alright, yeah. When I was generating boards, when I saw that 4 graffiti in a thing, I almost felt bad about it, honestly.
Well, it certainly gave us a very interesting game 1. Just to see how everyone strategically avoided graffiti until the very end. Just kind of knowing that it just wasn't going to be a possibility.
Yeah, Jake looks like he messed up the Chuo special once, but got it on the 2nd try. Is now gonna go pick that up, while Daft is just showing up in Chuo to unlock it, it being the only other thing on the board.
Yeah, so it looks like 54 keys will at least deny the triple bingo.
Got one of Ace's favorites. We've got an Ace versus Krabby SDPP thing, but of course it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think Ace has quite a huge lead here as well. He's been here for quite some time.
14 tags to Krabby versus... They're not that far apart, actually. The tags in this half are decently spread out, but...
That's the thing about SDPP, is the density of where the tags are means that there's kind of an erratic curve when it comes to progressing through the area. So the tag count is not necessarily representative of your progress.
Yeah. Yeah, Ace is climbing the observatory, So he's definitely got a significant lead on Krabby. If he doesn't mess this up, the square will go to him.
And well, Jakey and Duff have nothing else to do for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So,
So Ace is only ahead by a couple of tags, but in terms of the route, he's got a decent lead here.
So Dabby taking game 1. Thinking
Right.
about what kind of psychic damage this is going to have dealt to 54 keys. I would
think-
expect them to be able to reset and come back in game 2 and just and give it their best again. They are.
Yeah. In the last game, Daft was saying that he and Krabby have never lost a game 1 in a match, which I think is interesting. I don't know enough about psychology to know why that is, but it sure is notable.
Yeah, it certainly
Also-
it sets a precedent, and when you consider
Yeah.
that they are undefeated, the game 1 victories certainly factor into that.
Yeah,
It's just
the
it's always going to
psychological
feel good
damage.
to have that advantage. Yeah,
Yeah.
just knowing that you were the first to strike. It feels like you kind of set the tempo of the series, of the match, when you win that first game, and the other team is always playing catch up.
Sometimes it's like a nice confidence boost, but also sometimes it gives the other team kind of the motivation they need to ascend and take over. Also, the board is gonna be completely symmetrical if Ace gets this square.
Well, now he has to.
Yeah. As chat has once again pointed out, it'll look like 2 back-to-back dogs. They're friends. Chat, what should we name the dogs? What's Ace missing? I think all of the tags he has left are in the center, or one more and then center.
Yeah, it should just be this one, and then back down to Faro Park, and that's the really quick and easy part. No, I'm not a fan of these suggestions in chat.
Yeah, I'm pretty deliberately ignoring those. Yeah, so Ace just has kind of the wall to the left of the Pharaoh, and then there are a couple other tags in the center. Oh, and the pyramid.
Oh, interesting that he leaves that one with those ones.
Yeah, he
until the
went
very last.
out to the onion side right away. I like Sniff's
No, he didn't come
suggestion
in
of...
from this guy, I know.
Okay, Sniff, I couldn't tell if you were suggesting we name the dogs Air and Bud, or one of them is Airbud and one of them is Airbud 2. Gotcha.
That's the best suggestion
la-
we've had so far, so I think we'll roll
Yeah.
with that.
Yep. And then the last 2 tags are just off to Ace's right, and he's got the cannons for it.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to get up there quickly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
I was always walking up the
Okay.
stairs like an idiot.
Hey, look at that match counter.
And there it is. That's game 1 concluded. Dabby takes it. Pretty dominant win overall, I believe. The final score was 20 points to 11.
Yeah, Ace in the bingo room chat says snipe us less next time, thanks. So that would be what happened.
Yeah,
Ruins
that's certainly
their
how
whole
it
career.
felt.
We had a total of 5 or 6 snipes that you'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, credit to Dabby in that regard, because it just means that they quite simply were just playing that little bit better and just being that little bit faster around the map. But that is that's going to conclude game 1.
Let me get another board going. What board do we want this time? The next one on my list. Ooh. This
Yeah, so
what I want.
usually
Yeah.
when we move from a game like this when everything was so closely contested, I'd like to see a kind of a different board that makes them spread out more. You know, some kind of opposite, less graffiti perhaps. But at the same time, I would also like to see a similar board to this one, just to see how it changes 54 Keys approach, whether they continue to try and contest Dabbi in these areas or whether they try to counteract them by going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So the next board will be interesting to see how it develops strategy.
With up to 5 games in the match, we've got good potential for kind of a variety of boards, more varied. Let's make sure my clock is updating correctly. All right.
I think we'll be going straight into game 2. We've got a couple of breaks planned because, bingo, it's stressful. People need breaks, and with a potential 5 games, we will be taking a couple of breaks in between games at some points. But I believe we'll be moving straight into game 2 if that's okay with all the players.
Yep.
And we'll be revealing very soon.
Yep. Players will be revealing in 1 minute. And
so
we
we're gonna
get to
reveal the card and see what we've got.
This one only has 1 graffiti, I think.
Chuo graffiti with Chuo air on the diagonal and Shibuya top of bus. So that's a nice looking
We've got
diagonal
a
bingo.
decent amount of Chuo, it looks like. I'm not looking super closely because I'm counting the players in, but I'm seeing the word Chuo pop up a decent amount of times.
I would like to see... Chuo's a relatively quick graffiti, but with other things
It
being
is.
in that area and some nice fast souls on the way there, and also on that diagonal we've got SDPP tricks, Highway Zero tricks, which are tricky, but you've also got SDPP entrance pillar, so there's certain paths that you can take through the map to set up for these longer souls that mean you don't necessarily sacrifice an early advantage by going straight for these kind of aggressive bingo plays. I would be surprised
Alright.
to see someone go straight for that bottom left to top right diagonal bingo, but it could work.
It could. They do have 2 players. The players have all now revealed the board, so they will be getting started in just a minute here. Let's see, what else have we got? Yeah, we've got way more, easy defaults this time, it looks like. With Shibuya
could favour
Bus,
54
Entrance
keys.
Pillar.
I wouldn't be surprised to see, in fact, both teams perhaps going straight for those 2 defaults, the top of bus in Shibuya and the entrance pillar SDPP. There's plenty of other stuff in those areas that they can then go straight into. So again, it will come down to who is the fastest to move to those souls to see who gets those early leads. But also, as we said, 54 keys might say, you know what, we don't want to get sniped, we'll go somewhere else, and they'll just perhaps pass up those 2 easy defaults and go straight to the next thing.
Alright. So players are now getting started.
Okay, Jakey straight to Shibuya, and Ace heading out to Darkside, as expected.
Oh.
It's like the same kind of moves here from Dabbi. Uh-oh,
It's a
Jakey gets
bold-
hit by a bus. That could cost him.
Yeah, it's kind of a bold play, but if it pays off, it could kind of secure a pretty big early game lead. Unfortunately, it seems to be what both teams are doing.
Yeah, Jakey actually... I'm not sure if he adapted once he got hit by the bus, or if he planned this all along. He's actually gone straight to Dogen, instead of contesting for that top of bus, which goes over to Daft. So that could have been an on-the-fly adaptation, knowing that as soon as he got hit by the bus, perhaps he wouldn't have been able to get that top of bus soul. But good to see him adapt. Top of pillar, or entrance pillar, goes over to Dabbi as well, though, so again, another strong early game opening from Dabbi. And I think Krabby even gets the Highway Zero ahead of Ace, so he's going to have the advantage moving in to that area, which we've got Trick 70, we've got Grind 15, both on the same column, so Highway Zero looking pretty strong right now. 54 keys, they do pick up 2 souls, they aren't out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, but a little bit behind on tempo so far. And wow, Krabby going straight for Soda, actually. I don't see this very often at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a bold play. Character
Ace
unlocks.
is going to go for the trick unlock.
Yeah. Character unlocks aren't, particularly quick. They could be going for that row 3 bingo. It's all kind of Dark Side and then Dogen Air 3. It's got that Soda unlock, a Sky Dino default, and then SDPP tricks. Daft is in
So-
Chuo though.
Yeah, we talked about Chuo a lot, and then we didn't see a lot of anyone go into Chuo, but Darth is now there. So he's going to start picking up some souls there. He's got the graffiti that he could perhaps work on as well. Krabby will be wrapping up Soda Race momentarily. Ace had a little bit of trouble with the Highway Zero Tricks unlock, which I think we say most of the time is probably the hardest single unlock sequence in the game.
Yeah.
He will pick it up. Doesn't mess it up enough to let Krabby back in on that one. But there's also Grind 15. Oh no, sorry, Grind 15's already been picked up by Ace. So he's actually going to get both souls here, by the looks of it, while Krabby just gets the soda, which, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think that was great, really, from Krabby.
Yeah, Alis pointed out in chat it does let Krabby kind of see if Ace followed him and kind of gives him more information about where Ace is, but like this early in the game, they don't really have enough of a lead for plays like that to be like the best choice, I think. Sometimes when you're a little later in the game and you have more of a head start on the other team, you can like sacrifice a square or two to get information about what the other team is doing and then play reactively to that. But like this early in the game, that's kind of risky.
Yeah, and Krabby doesn't get any advantage from that, really. He's a couple of seconds ahead of Ace moving into Sky Dino, which we're going to see both of them contesting. But that immediately comes down to execution. It doesn't matter if you're a couple of seconds ahead in Sky Dino, because if you fall once, if you mess up an unlock sequence, any advantage that you would have had going in can easily go away.
Mm-hmm. And
So, yeah,
Daft
I
getting
agree.
started on that Chuo graffiti.
So that diagonal bingo is not going to be possible, since looks like 54 Keys did get the Highway Zero Tricks to deny that. And in fact, as far as bingos go, not many on the board already. Column 3 is still available for 54 Keys, column 4 and 5 for Dabbi, but
We could also go for that other diagonal, but it is pretty spread out.
yeah, a lot of these are very spread out. And you've got graffiti on one of them, which Daft is working towards, but column 4 doesn't look terrible.
It's an
You've got
FRZ.
FRZ and Kibo. That could work out for Dabbi, but yeah, as you said, Jakey's already there, so
Yeah, would work out if Jake were not actively about to deny that. Is there anything else in FRZ, or is he just there to deny the bingo?
there's End of Maze, there's Grind 10, so there's at least 2 souls for him to pick up there, and just being on that side of the map is good as well, because you've got a lot of stuff in Kibo, there's some stuff
True.
in Bottom Point as well, so
Pretty
this
much
is certainly
uncontested in the
a
sewers
much better looking
areas.
game. This is much more comfortable for 54 Keys. Still a decent square lead right now for Dabbi, but it doesn't really feel like they have the same control and the same dominance that they had in Game 1.
Yeah. 54 Keys did once again get sniped to some of their early game board control squares, which we know they are very fond of, but I think they can bring this back.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to definitely need to prioritize graffiti now, since Daft will be locking in. Oh well, they can't actually because there's only one graffiti on the board. So that does actually present a bit of a problem for 54 Keys, since they
They
can't get
gotta
any
find
bingos.
some more squares.
Yeah,
But
they can't
Jake
get any bingos, and they're
being,
not going to get graffiti.
Jake being the only one in the sewers area will kind of give them priority to more squares, which could be what they need. What else is in the sewers area? Let me break out my area search.
We got sewers
There.
rail. Is that the default?
Yeah, sewers
okay.
for rail is
Relatively
a
quick.
quick default. We've got the other FRZ. We've got a bottom point default that's quick enough to pick up. A Kibo default. Unlock Boogie. Both of those will take a lap of Kibo, but they're not terrible. And then RDH Air, which is quick.
So they just
So-
need to outmuscle Dabbi really, and take more tiles away. since looks like Daft will be finishing off the Churro Graffiti momentarily.
Oh, and Krabby headed to sewers.
Well, he's read the play.
Daft just about finished with Graffiti. Ace in SDPP. What is he doing there?
The Graffiti really could make the difference here as Daft finally finishes that one up. The only bingo left on the board is that column 5 bingo for Dabbi. I would expect that Jakey will be able to deny that. He's heading out the bottom point. He's in, so he's going to get the default. But he can head out the bottom point quite quickly as
Krabby's going to get the default.
Oh, Krabby's ahead of him. Every time I watch Krabby, I look away for 2 seconds because we've got our eyes on 4 screens and a bingo board and a Twitch chat. And I look away from Krabby for 5 seconds and he's halfway across the map.
Yeah, he does that. So that does let Jake know that Krabby is here, but, it snipes that square. How are we doing on score?
And Krabby's already out ahead, moving into Kibo now. Jakey will go to bottom point, and it looks like he will be able to deny that column 5 bingo. But it's gonna be a mad rush for squares now.
Ace picking up that SDPP, Soul already denies that bingo, but...
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So Daft finished that 2-0 Graffiti, which puts the score at 8-13, I believe.
That's correct.
Let's see.
Which means...
Which
again,
means
it's a situation
54
where...
keys once again means everything.
Yeah. Really feels like Dabbi have got their number. They're just playing the perfect style of bingo and making the right decisions in the moment to deal with exactly how 54 keys want to play the game. And we said, this board looked like it could be better for 54 keys because it has those fast defaults that they like to rush. And then they didn't get them.
You really hate to see it. Yeah. This is a hard one.
Nonetheless, I feel, technically it's still possible for 54 keys to win this. And even if they don't win game 2, that just sets us up for a reverse sweep, which is even more exciting. It is now no longer possible for 54 keys to win this game. As Krabby unlocks Boogie, that's gonna put the game score up to 2-0.
Yeah. Yeah, with Krabby already, this far into Kibo, there was no way for anyone to contest that unless they got, unless they found, some weird Kibo warp. Haha, nothing like that's ever happened before.
Yeah.
Good thing that isn't a regular thing that happens in this community.
Okay, so again, thinking about 54 keys moving into the next game, I feel like we need to see them mix things up a little bit and just try and play the game in a bit of a different way because it feels like their strategy has been completely downloaded by Dabbi.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's very difficult to just change the way that you play the game, to be fair. That's not an easy thing to do. So I can't fault them for chalking game 1 up as it was and going into game 2 with a similar approach. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, they do. They've got at least one more game to try to bring this back. I know Ace has talked a little before about how if he gets sniped to kind of initial things, he sometimes loses some of the motivation that you kind of need to keep pushing and playing your best, which is tough. And I think Dabbi kind of knows how to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's definitely how this match has felt so far.
Alright, how are the last couple squares going? Jake and Daft both in Dogen. Daft getting priority to getting to the tape first. Ace and Krabby are in SDPP, but Ace already has the tape, and he's unlocking it on the highway. Is it Tricks?
Trick 60.
I didn't know you could do this on the highway, I don't think, but that's cool. clever. The only
That's a
other like
long range.
optimal place to do that is the observatory. If you enter with a tape, that works out well. Oh, but
Special
it's
picked
gonna...
up for Jakey in Dogen.
But he's still gonna climb the observatory anyway, I think, because that's kind of the optimal place to pick that soul up. Or no? Maybe. I don't know what
I'm
he's
sure
doing.
he knows what he's doing.
Krabby is way closer to the soul now. I think he just went to the wrong side, honestly. It happens, but you hate to see it. How many times am I gonna say you hate to see it during this game? Yeah, so Krabby
I mean,
gets
you
that.
do though.
You do.
hate to see it. I had a feeling that this series would be either incredibly close or a complete blowout. And it is kind of looking like a bit of a blowout right now, but there's certainly still a potential 3 more games and the potential reverse sweep for 54 keys, so we can't count them out yet. But we do need to, I think, see them mentally reset.
So we're taking a
And,
break now, which is perfect for that, I think.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for, I think, 54 keys to just take a breath, think about how they want to approach game 3, and hopefully the board will be more kind to them this time. I think the lack of graffitis on this board certainly made it very difficult for them to find any leverage once the early game played out how it did. It just felt like it was already over because they were always going to be playing catch-up. And there wasn't any big point swing in a graffiti or a bingo for them to pick up to get them back into the game. Yeah, so we are going to be taking a little bit of a break now, I think. I will also be taking a little bit of a break, getting myself a drink.
Yeah, me
Stretch
too,
my legs.
probably. Yeah. That will presumably leave you with some funky fresh beats. I hope.
Yeah, let's trust
Yeah,
him
that leaves
on
you all with me.
production.
I apologise in advance.
Oh no.
So, airline food. What is the deal?
Ooh.
Boo.
Anyway, I'm gonna go
It
back
was
on
like-
mute. Enjoy the funky fresh beats.
I was like standing up to go get a drink and I just hear what's the deal with airline food. I have never unmuted my mic so fast.
So how we doing, chat? We enjoying the bingo finals? How have we felt about the bingo tournament as a whole? Because I've been loving it. I think this is such a great way to bring the community together for this game. Great community, great game. And it's a pleasure to be here commentating.
I'll tell you who I think's really enjoying the Jet Radio Future Bingo League finals. Team Dabbi.
Yeah,
Any
that's,
bingo fans in chat? Alright, I asked the teams how much of a break they want, and nobody responded. But that's all good.
It's
We
because
will be
they're
back
all on a break.
when we're back. Yeah, they're all busy. Yeah.
You know what I'm really disappointed with? Krabby's not playing Boogie.
Oh, you're right. I mean, playing as Zero Beat has been their thing throughout the tournament, so I understand not wanting to break from that.
Yeah, I think almost every team has had their set of characters that they've stuck to. We've seen, I think SSC and K mixed it up a little bit and played a few different characters. But I think Dabbi have played Zero Beat in every single game.
For the
I think
record,
Yeah.
Ayla's played different characters. I was stuck with Gum the entire time.
Yes, because you didn't install the all gum stats.
Well, no, I did, but then I uninstalled it because I didn't do bingo. The true pain.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, actually, this is probably something we should clarify. We actually have it's hard to call it a mod, but more like some alterations to the game files that change all of the stats of all of the characters so that they are the same as Gum. And we use Gum for the majority of the game when we speedrun it, just because her cornering stat is good. It's easier to move around and do certain tricks and pieces of movement. But for bingo, we wanted to make it so that people could play a character that they wanted to play instead of being forced to play Gum or Rapid 99, who have the same stats, and Rapid 99 is a perfectly valid choice. So yeah, the character that anyone is playing doesn't actually affect their gameplay at all. Everyone has the stats of Gum.
Yeah, the mod came around almost a year ago when Ace and Krabby played at Bingathon. That was their donation incentive. People donated for which character they wanted people to play the final game as. And people went real hard on that. It was kind of funny. I think JSRF was like one of the shorter games in the marathon, but we made up like 10% of donations or something because people were so dedicated to getting their favorite characters on the.
Who did it end up being? I think Garam was on there.
Yeah, I think Krabby was Jazz and Ace was Garam, despite donating money for his own favorite character, Rapid 99.
We haven't seen any Garam this tournament. It's tragic.
We haven't. He's a good character.
He's groovy.
Oh, I should be paying attention to the bingo room, probably. Nobody's saying anything.
Nobody is saying anything. Everyone's still on their break.
Yeah. It's a stressful couple of matches, especially for 54 keys, so
okay,
I understand.
So just to respond to Alice in the chat, I wasn't in the community at this time last year when this event happened at Bingothon. I am just going off of secondhand knowledge here. I also love jazz.
Bingothon submissions open in a couple of weeks. That'll be exciting to see kind of how the tournament has prepared. We've got like a bunch of people now that could potentially submit rather than just Ace and Krabby. Excited to see what happens there.
Yeah. Who's your favourite JSRF character, chat, and why is it Jazz? I'm seeing a lot of incorrect answers in the chat.
Just waiting for some of the players to get back.
Oh, we got a Slate fan in the chat. Any JSR fans in chat?
We got an explosive broadcast coming to you. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Did JSR play bingo? Can you play bingo in JSR?
I bet you could. I don't think it would be that fun. Because, I mean, they do have souls that you can pick up, although they're kind of less of a focus.
It could probably be done.
It could. I think it totally could be done. I just don't know how entertaining it would be to play or to watch.
Fortunately, we have the super exciting and enjoyable to play Jet Set Radio Future Bingo.
The superior one.
Absolutely.
Could we not throw shade at Jet Set Radio? This seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. I have nothing against
JSR.
JSR.
I like
besides
JSR.
that it's not JSRF. I played it like yesterday.
Look,
I have
Eckler
also played
Twinkachu,
JSR.
Apologise to the Jet Set Radio fans in chat. We cannot
Yes,
have this.
I'm deeply sorry for insulting your game. I don't hate JSR, I promise.
I'm gonna remain silent on this. No, I do like JSR. It's just a very different game, and I prefer JSRF, especially because I played JSRF as a kid, and there's a lot of nostalgia value.
I prefer a lot of things about JSRF, but there are also some things I prefer about JSR. Like, I like the character design and, like, the environment better, usually. Daft is back. Cool.
Yeah, I think just generally the aesthetics of JSR and the music, I think is better. But if I had to pick a game to play, it would have to be JSRF.
Alright.
Are we getting ready to go?
I think we're just waiting on twitch.tv/7th Ace. No, he's on character select, so he's good too.
He's back.
Alright, let me get my timer up.
Does this mean we get to look at the board?
It does. Daft has requested a reveal in 5, which will be 2 minutes. Let's look at the board.
Wow.
Dino
Well,
Graffiti
that.
Center Square.
Well, it wouldn't be a Dabbi game without at least one Sky Dino Graffiti tile.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else have we got there? Shibuya Graffiti on the same row.
Those are
Boogie's
both
back
plates.
again.
Boogie's back. With a vengeance, I'm sure.
Looking at that column 4 bingo, 2 FRZ souls and the sewers entrance soul. That's pretty
And then
nice.
Shibuya and SCPP are both speedy. Let's look at my area breakdown. Sewers areas seem to be the stacked kind of side of the board
FRZ
here.
is looking really good. You got the 3 in that bottom right corner there on the diagonal bingo and the column 4 bingo and the row 5 bingo. And a lot of quick, easy souls to supplement them as well. You've got Topper Station, you've got Sewers Entrance, Shibuya Platform. FRZ is going to be huge.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see at least one person from each team heading to sewers, probably specifically FRZ, but we'll just
You've
see
also
when we
got-
get started.
You got 2
Players-
Kibo souls on column 2. This could be a really dynamic game in terms of bingos, in terms of where people are going on the map. I think it's gonna be hard to predict because there's so many options. I
Honestly,
don't know.
the Dino Graffiti is almost kind of a trap. That's like Krabby's specialty, but other than that, Light Side is pretty empty, or Dark Side rather, pretty empty.
Crazy, 4 souls in FRZ, plus a bunch in sewers, plus a bunch in Kibo. Yeah, going out to Sky Dino doesn't feel like the play, but it is crappy.
Alright,
Alright, so they're
Players have
revealing the
revealed.
card, and I
Let's
can
see.
see the cogs whirring in their brains right now.
let's see how many angry messages I get in the bingo chat, because when Ace has feelings, he voices them.
don't understand what's going on here.
So what else have we got? Quite a lot of stuff in Shibuya as well, actually. You got points, platform, air, graffiti.
Might be another good, like, early game right off the bat play. One person FRZ, one person Shibuya. I feel like we'll probably see at least one of the teams doing that.
Yeah, so
But,
we've
you
got
know,
two very... I say 2 very stacked areas. We've got an entirely stacked third of the board in the sewers area. And then Shibuya's looking good as well. A lot of these are really quick as well. There aren't really a lot of very long souls, not really any long graffitis. Skydown is very quick, Shibuya's pretty quick. This could be a very fast-paced game. Let's get into it. Game 3.
Yeah! Alright, Ace off to Shibuya, Krabby off to Shibuya, Jake off to sewers, Daft presumably also off to sewers. Both of them having a little trouble.
I always feel so validated when the players do exactly what I thought that they would do.
Yeah! Both going for the tape early, maybe? Krabby
Yeah, looks
stopping
like
for
it.
cans, which might give him... I don't know. Ace going
I mean,
to...
he has the boosts, and
He's got
Ace
speed.
doesn't.
Ace going for that air, which spawns literally right there under the tape, grabbing that, but Krabby going for something else. Is that points? That's
Oh,
the
he's
really
going
swag points
straight.
unlock.
Ooh,
Oh, and he
grab
misses it.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, he still does get it.
That
That should be a platform and air picked up, and Sewer's entrance. Look at that row 1
Jake
bingo
and Daft
already.
both struggling for that Sewer's entrance hold, but Jake ultimately grabbing it.
So that's 3 squares on row 1 picked up for 54 keys. And
This
then
is the
Jakey
54 keys
immediately-
early game we know and love.
Yeah, and Jake is now immediately in FRZ uncontested. This is exactly what we wanted to see from 54 keys. They stuck
is
to
what
their
they
guns. They didn't change up their game plan, and they said, we're gonna finally get a board that works for us, I suppose, and not get sniped to everything. And now this puts them in a really, really strong position.
Ace also making the possible meta decision of Krabby will be going for that Sky Dino square, you know he will. So Ace is getting Shibuya Graffiti out of the way early so that they have the points to kind of counteract that.
And it pays off because guess where Krabby is? Oh no, he's turned around, never mind.
Ah, okay. Yeah. There might have been a couple other souls in Sky Dino, but like other than that.
Yeah, you got
yeah, there's a
Underbrontosaurus.
default.
There's a lot in SDPP as well, to be fair. Darkseid
Yeah.
doesn't look terrible, but I mean, Krabby can't make up his mind. He's now entered Darkseid,
Krabby's
left
both
Darkseid,
third.
and entered Darkseid again.
Yeah. Daft also entering FRZ, although Jake has the head start here.
Yeah, and looking at the FRZ souls, we've got 3 unlocks and a default. He's already got the tape. He's going to be able to unlock all of these pretty quickly and easily. FRZ is it's a big area, but once you get the tape, things kind of fall into place. Things go a little bit quicker. You've got big metal in the middle, allows you to get to everywhere in FRZ quite quickly and easily.
As you will hear Ekla say quite a lot, FRZ is one of the vertical levels that's like done well. It's easy to navigate with the addition of the big metal pipe right up the middle.
I do say that a lot, you're right. So Daft actually goes for the default and picks up the clip soul without clipping, I believe.
Yeah.
But that's just going to give
And then
Jakey
leaves.
everything else.
That'll give Daft an advantage to the next wherever he goes next, but it lets Jake pick up that last unlockable FRZ soul, which is Tricks 100, which you unlock by freaking out on this metal pipe that doesn't work very well. Krabby's
so-
a Sky Dino.
Daft goes to Kibo, but this advantage that he gets out of FRZ doesn't necessarily mean too much because Jakey can still go elsewhere. We've got bottom point for Cube, which is kind of long, but it's an option. You've got points in Sewers as well. So there's a lot of stuff.
Krabby grabs that Sky Dino default and gets started on Graffiti, which blocks that top row bingo. But keys are up on squares, so and
Yeah,
Ace
and I
marks
think with
Shibuya
Jakey done
Graffiti.
in FRZ, he can go straight to column 3, pick up Cube in bottom point. That'll deny the column 3 bingo, and then I think 54 keys will be in a really strong, comfortable position.
Yeah. So Krabby working on that Dino Graffiti. Ace, however, picked up Shibuya Graffiti, so the bonus points are kind of negated.
Jakey's not going for Cube.
Uh-oh.
I
Ace
don't
is a
hate it.
dope-
I mean, there's still other things that he can do, but I feel like it would be the definitive
Ace
54 keys
Dogan.
play to go for it.
Do that first. Ooh, Ace being in Dogan actually sets up a row 5 bingo with an RDH default and a Hikage, and with Daft, like, pretty thoroughly in Kibo and Krabby all the way out in Sky Dino, they aren't in a great place to contest it. Yeah,
This
Jake
feels-
getting that RDH top of station, Ace zooming his way on out of Dogan, maybe? Nope, he's getting the tape.
Might as well get it and then come back to it later. I think that'll be the
Yeah.
play. But yeah, this feels very 54 keys favored. This is exactly the position that they want to be in.
Okay. Ace is gonna. The other Dogan soul on the board is special, so Ace can just grab it on his way down into Shibuya to get to Hikage.
This is really smart. I like the way the 54 Keys have played this game so far. And
Yeah.
it doesn't look like a huge lead, but that bingo will break this game wide open in the favor of 54 Keys if they can get it.
This is the redemption arc that we love to see. Ace avoiding tricking to only unlock the soul he needs, not waste any time getting to Hikage. There's that special, which he is going to leave to pick up later. Yeah, Daft is almost at the end of Kibo, but Ace is already in Shibuya.
They've kind of baited Dabbi into exactly where they wanted them to be on the map. Daft has spent a very long time in Kibo, and he's picked up 2 souls for his trouble. That's not a massive amount when you consider the amount of points that 54 Keys can get. Oh, he got Boogie as well, so that's 3. Still a decent commitment of time, though, in Kibo. Kibo is not an area that you can leave easily, and though Sky Dino is a relatively quick graffiti route, Krabby has also spent a lot of time here. 54 Keys can predict that, and they can play according to that. And also, Krabby's made a couple of mistakes, I think. I think he's fallen a couple of times in this Sky Dino round.
That's the thing I was saying about this Sky Dino graffiti is it's kind of a trap, especially when you know pretty solidly that Krabby almost always goes for Dino graffiti if it's on the board. It's like his square, almost. And so 54 Keys can kind of see that and say, okay, Krabby's going for this, what do we need to do to make sure that that doesn't end the game for us? Which they have done brilliantly here. Yeah, so Ace picking up
Shibuya graffiti. The bingo will be locked in right now.
Dash didn't even try to contest. That's probably a good move. It's in RDH instead. Yeah, so that's a bingo for
That's
54
a
Keys.
5-point lead, I believe. Oh no, it's even bigger. It's a 7-point lead right now for 54 Keys.
Ahead on squares, they've got a graffiti, although Krabby will be marking Dino graffiti soon. He's missing.
Jakey and Daft, both in RDH right now.
What else is in RDH? Is it just
Special?
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be a rush to the top. Jakey looks like he has the lead here. And that's going to deny the potential row 2 bingo from Dabbi, which feels like one of their last ways into this game.
Yeah, I don't know if Dabbi can come back from this. I mean, we've seen it happen. We've seen some pretty incredible comebacks in this tournament, but it's looking good for Keys.
And this in itself sets up for potentially the most monumental comeback, a reverse sweep and a best of 5 in the finals. That would be incredibly exciting.
It would. Yeah, so Jake definitely got priority to this soul, although RDH is easy enough to leave for both of them, so it's not like any of them are stuck. Ace is going for Dogen special. Oh, he's doing reverse Dogen. We were talking about this in the bingo planning channel the other day. I'm still not sure if it's faster to go forwards or backwards for this Dogen soul.
Yeah, I think it's very dependent on context, where you're coming from, whether you've already unlocked it, because Ace did already have it unlocked coming in. So I think... Where was he previously? He was in Hikage, right? So
he was, but I think he came into Dogen through Garage.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most efficient way to route that. Yeah, to go from Hikage to Garage from Shibuya and then into Dogen and reverse Dogen to pick up special. I think that's the fastest way to do it in this particular situation.
Yeah, Krabby has picked up his Dino graffiti and is just collecting those last 2 SDPP souls. But yeah, I don't think they have a win condition here because of the points that Keys gets from that bingo.
Yeah, it's a 5-point lead. There are 4 points left on the board. So I think 54 Keys have clawed one back, bringing us to a game 4. It
was a good game, well played by them. After kind of getting obliterated in the first two.
Yeah, I mean, they really did. They stuck to their guns. They played the game how they want to play the game, and this time it worked out for them.
We've got Daft and Jake both in bottom point. Jake already in the cube race. Daft getting to the cube race, although Jake fell in one of the rooms, so that's unfortunate. Krabby cleaning up these last two SDPP squares on the board, and Ace climbing the sewers for that points. That was a neat climb there, kind of zooming his way up the sewers with some cool and exciting tricks. That's one of my favorite things about Bingo, is how many like weird exclusive kind of flashy tricks are optimal in Bingo and have no use anywhere else in the game.
Yep, Bingo is such a great showcase of everything that JSRF has to offer, really. In terms of movement especially.
Yeah. Like all of the cool sewers, climbing movement, some of it gets used in other categories, but you don't ever really see it chained all together in the way that you do in Bingo. Because in categories you've got other things to worry about, and you're not just zooming your way directly to the top for one soul. That's Chad is complaining about the music. What are you doing to them?
Yeah, for the record, we can't hear the music, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're hearing, but I apologize for it so much.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
Thank you for your input. I hate it here. Anyway, back into the game at hand.
Ace has picked up... Nope, never mind. Krabby, there we go, third try, has picked up those two SDPP souls. Jake marks unlock cube. Ace is uncontested to this sewer's soul, and that'll be game. I mean, game was already decided, but that'll be the board done.
Yeah, so this was a really quick game. If we go by Darth's timer, 14 minutes. Really, really good game 3. 54 keys, bringing themselves back into the game. We get a game 4. And possibly a game 5. I'm excited.
Game 5. Paused. Champ. Alright, let's... what am I doing? I was screenshotting the board. That's what I was doing. Alright, let's get another board in here. Yeah.
So if we get to 2-2, then yeah, we'll be going into a game 5 and getting ourselves a tiebreaker there, which will be incredibly exciting. We'll see if Dabbi can bounce back now.
All right.
I'm not sure if it's fair to say that they're on the back foot, because they do still have the game lead, but I think 54 keys will certainly be happy with how that one played out for them. And I think that might have restored some energy to them, rejuvenated them just a little bit after what must have been a very painful first 2 games to play.
Alright, getting the next board.
Again, we apologize for the music that we cannot hear. I can only imagine that it's awful.
Yep.
That's just part of the production here on JSRF Bingo.
Yeah, the only thing I see is Nay in chat yelling, pain, pain. Alright, we've got our next board. It's 4:20 in the US, or in Eastern Time, so that's exciting. Let me... Where is my clock? I have no idea. There we go. Alright, let's get this started soon.
Let's take a peek at the board while our players get ready. Looks like we'll be revealing in just under 2 minutes.
Cool. Caught confirmation from all parties. Alright, chat seems okay with the music now. Alright, I should reveal this board. I don't know what's here.
Can we get a board reveal on stream, please? Thank
Thanks,
you.
Bats.
Sua's graffiti.
Alright.
It's been a while since we saw that.
You know it had to make an appearance. Also, FRZ graffiti, which is
Yeah,
I'm
FLZ graffiti
partial
came
to.
up a lot earlier in the tournament, but kind of fell away. Definitely a difficult route, quite a long one. But again, FRZ looks kinda stacked. You got tricks, you got special, graffiti, more stuff in sewers as well besides that. You've got the sewers graffiti, another quick default there, more stuff in Kilo. Boogie is back again! I feel like if we go to a game 5, we should make all 4 players play as Boogie at this point.
Yeah. We've got Boogie wants vengeance after Krabby decided to play Zero Beat, I think, is what's happening here.
Boogie's revenge.
JSRF
Krabby?
Bingo Finals, Revenge of the Boog.
Rith's back. Seen her a couple of times.
Been heavy on the character unlocks these last couple boards.
Yeah, we've seen Cube, we've seen Boogie like a million times. We had Soda, Rith twice, I believe.
But no Jazz.
No Jazz. No, we're saving Jazz for
Wait.
game 5, obviously. Oh, whoops, leaked the script.
I think I have a board already generated for if we go to a 5th, but I don't think it has Jazz, so like maybe I have to make another one.
I think you have to. I think that's the
Yeah.
only logical conclusion. Hikake graffiti also on this board, so we've got some very long graffiti routes
Yeah.
here.
Second Hikage graffiti we've seen this match, but it wasn't like super critical the last time, so hopefully someone else does it.
Yeah, because we had game 1 we had 4 graffitis. Game 2 we had 1 graffiti. Game 3 we had 2 that were very quick, and now we've got 3 that are very long. So we're getting like the full spectrum of what graffiti can mean in the bingo setting here in this match.
Got
Getting
all the
started
possible
soon.
options.
Let's see the mad rush to Shibuya Cubby. Expected. What else have we got? We've got
Cool.
honestly,
Alright,
not
and
that many
they'll be off.
fast defaults on this board. You've got Highway Zero entrance, and then you've got points in Highway Zero as well. Darkside is looking pretty good.
Yeah, we see Ace and Krabby both going dark side. Jake in RDH. Daft also going to RDH but having some trouble.
This is unprecedented. A game with Shibuya Cubby on the board where it's not the first square picked up.
No one went for Shibuya Cubby. Yeah. For a very long time, Shibuya Cubby was kind of the bingo meta. You could rely on the first square being, if Shibuya Cubby's on the board, like that's the first thing that happens. Everybody races there. And it's been really interesting to see kind of as the tournament has kind of evolved the meta that people don't do that all the time
Yeah, I mean,
anymore.
people started like anticipating that and reading that play and using it to go elsewhere and pick up other squares. And now we see everyone completely forsaking it, as we did see a rush to 99th Street from Ace and Krabby. And Light Wall Ride went over to Krabby, but Trix goes over to Ace. And we got RDH platform picked up by Jakey. Now both he and Daft are in sewers. So it's going to be another one of those games where everyone's in the same area by the looks of it. Jakey
Yeah.
looks like he's got the advantage in sewers, and Daft actually
Daft
is
going
gonna
into
lead.
FRZ.
Going into FRZ, which is looking pretty good, pretty stacked.
Yeah,
so
Jake is
Jakey's
not
gonna
going
pick up
for that.
default.
Yeah. Ace is
So a little bit of divergence.
struggling with something.
Struggling with grinding up the dragon, because I feel that.
I couldn't tell if he was trying to unlock something or if he was just having a bad time.
This is another
Alright.
good early game from 54 Keys, though, looking at it.
Yeah.
Again,
They
they
didn't-
didn't flinch. They went
Yep.
straight for the early souls
He's
again,
going
and this
back
time
into Garage. Well, Krabby is going further into Darkside, entering Highway Zero.
yeah. So we've got
or-
under entrance soul
Control
in Highway Zero and points, I believe. Points is, I mean, it's a Highway
Points is
Zero
going
soul,
to
so it's always
Shibuya.
going to be relatively quick.
Yeah.
And we'll now finally see Shibuya Kami.
Oh, what are the
What else
chances? Could they be going for that diagonal? It's got FRZ spray, and then a bottom point default.
I think they might be using that as leverage. Daft will probably see this diagonal, maybe feel obligated to at least partial FRZ while he's here, and while they have him in the area. They probably won't necessarily know he's in the area, but nonetheless, the damage may still be done.
Yeah, Jake is
to the tempo of
partial,
Dabbi.
at least.
So, with Daft spending a lot of time in FRZ, Jake is also there, though, interestingly. So
We've just got special and tricks, both of which get unlocked on Big Steel, Big Metal. So Daft has priority to picking up, but if Jake goes for a different soul than Daft, he might have enough of a. They might be close enough for him to snipe it out.
But again, this is 54 keys in their element because they have so many squares on the board so early in the game. They can go pretty much wherever they want. They have threat on the diagonal bingo, they've got column 1, they've got column 2, they've got row 3, some long graffitis in the way of those bingos, but they still have all the tools at their disposal that they need.
Yeah,
to
like
get
I
a
would
huge
say.
advantage.
Yeah, so Daft is going for FRZ special, Jake went for FRZ tricks, and so Daft is struggling actually, but theoretically they could have traded souls here. Yeah, what's the score at? Because we've got 1, maybe 2 threatened bingos that involve graffiti. Yeah, 7-3. Jesus.
This is going to be a huge. There are huge point swings available in this game. Contingent on graffiti though. Like FRZ is going to be huge. Sewers is going to be huge because they have those bingo setups for 54 keys. Kage sits relatively uncontested on row 2 right now. If Dabbi wanted their own big point swing on a bingo and a graffiti. They also have row 1 available to them, so they're certainly not out of the game, but they've got a lot of work to do to put that pressure on.
Yeah, Daft is going into bottom point where he can block that diagonal bingo with the bottom point right half pipe 1. He got out of FRZ a little earlier, but Jake is ignoring that entirely and going to Kibo.
Yeah, that's
Where there are
upper
3
platform in column 1. You've got Boogie's not really very important right now. But there's also Air on column 2, and with Ace picking up Rith, thank you, Ace, for picking up Rith. That's a column 2 bingo now being threatened, and this is 54 keys just exerting the most possible pressure right now.
I think this is really what they like to do in bingo, which is kind of the mind game element. Like, if you get enough of an early head start, you can kind of use your board control to kind of do whatever you want and kind of psych your opponents out almost.
And in the end, even if you don't get... Ooh, nice frame boost from Jakey. Even if you don't get the bingos that you're threatening, you still have a bunch of tiles. You still have a huge point lead just by getting those early squares, and you just have a general tempo advantage. You also force the opponent to react to your threatened bingos, so you know exactly where they are, and that gives you an advantage in planning your strategy going forward.
Yeah, when Ace's kind of preferred style of bingo works out for him, it really works out, and it's really entertaining to watch. Yeah, let's see.
But we did say in the first 2 games it didn't work out, and Dabbi dominated, so it really can go both ways, and honestly it would not be, surprising to see this go to a game 5. Just because both these teams, though they play the game in a very different way to each other, are just both equally as good as each other at it. And we're really getting to see that in this match, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, we've got both Ace and Krabby working on Sewers graffiti. Jake and Daft both in Kibo. Jake is further ahead. He's been here much longer. Gonna prioritize that air, which will be at least the first bingo. Oh, I think that was a frame boost. No matter what it was swag from Jake.
I mean, there's still the completely crazy scenario where Dabbi actually denied both these bingos, and then suddenly, the game looks a lot closer.
But Jake is just about to grab that Kibo air. There's the
And
first
there it is.
bingo.
And that is...
Yeah.
That's now a 7-point lead? 7-point lead? My goodness.
It's early. That's a lot. Yeah, that's 7 points.
They are leading by more points than Dabbi have.
But the game is still young. We've got both Ace and Krabby working on this sewers graffiti, although I think Krabby is ahead. So this is unfortunately going to be a waste of Ace's time, unless catastrophe strikes, which, you know, with sewers is probably gonna happen. We'll see. Yeah, no more
We got
bingos.
people in chat calling it already. This
Yeah.
is
Rather
really dominant from 54 keys, and I went on record earlier saying that this match could have been incredibly close, or it could have been a blowout, and in the end it was kind of both, because we have seen two very dominant games from Dabbi, and now looking like two very dominant games from 54 keys, which brings us to an incredibly close match.
Yeah. God, this is bingo at its finest. We've really seen two games that are both teams doing kind of what they do best.
Jakey. Okay, you'll get another shot at it. That's fine.
Do you miss Gigabaka?
He missed Kigabaka.
Sad. You do.
There we go, second try.
There we go.
Things
So
you
Daft
love
is
to
getting
see.
out of Kibo a little faster, but Jake wins swag points.
We give him a bonus point for doing Kigabaka.
We'll see if the game is close.
That'll be
Alright,
the
well.
tiebreaker.
Yeah. Alright, Daft picked up a couple of things in Kibo because Jake was really prioritizing that square that won him the bingo. And so the score has gotten a little closer. Dabbi got some much needed squares, but
Yeah, and with graffiti still on the table, can't count Dabbi out yet, because Sua's graffiti looks like it's probably going to be going over to Krabby. And then we've got Hikage graffiti, FRZ graffiti, which I believe Daft already partial spray
did Krabby
FRZ.
fall? That was a fall, yeah.
Oof.
Uh-oh. With
Here I am trying to instill some hope in Dabbi fans.
Curse.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't see that, Dabbi tried to jump to the middle from one of the half pipes and missed.
Yeah.
Fell down like
Krabby-
halfway and all the way now. Ooh.
So Krabby had, and I think he had more sprays done, but that is quite a setback.
Oh no, Krabby!
No.
This is the risk you run, though, when you go for these very difficult sewers climbs.
Yeah, I think this one, the one from the Kibo and bottom point entrance pipes, is fast enough that even if you miss it like 3 times, it's still faster than the normal route.
Yeah, the ones on the higher levels, though, the risk goes up.
Yeah.
Ace is closing that gap now with all those mistakes, and Ace, his sewer movement is usually very clean. So we'll see if he can swing this back around. Checking in on Jakey and Daft both in Dogen right now.
Almost
That's
impossible
special.
to conclusively say like who's ahead in a sewers graffiti race. Just
Anything
with
can happen.
mistakes being so punishing. Special and air.
Perfect shuffle from Jakey. He's zooming around the map right now.
Let's see, Ace's canagement seems decent. That's up this high in the sewers. Canagement and then falling are really what'll get ya.
Wow. Yeah, Ace is now ahead on sprays. because of those mistakes, those falls from Krabby. It looks like he's going to take this away from Krabby, which will be a huge blow to the morale of Dabbi. There it is, Sua's Graffiti for a double bingo for 54 keys. That's it. That is game over.
That is definitely game. Yeah, what a comeback from those first 2 games.
Twinkachu? We're going to game 5.
Oh, hell yeah. If we love a game 3 round, imagine how we feel about a game 5.
Maximum bingo content.
Do I generate another board so we get some jazz representation? Actually, you know what? I actually don't think I generated a 5th board. This works out perfect.
Excellent.
Surprise all graffiti squares. That would be entertaining.
I mean, it's on the cards. It's not, but like, we could do a 5 graffiti board. Why not?
God, last week we were playing some practice bingo, and I generated a board that had 8 graffiti squares. We didn't play it because we were like, no way, no. But
yeah, we have limits.
Yeah.
So now Krabby's in FRZ, which is interesting because Daft was already there and already partial sprayed it, but is handing over the reins to Graffiti Master Krabby. Again, this is all just posturing because I believe it's mathematically now impossible for Dabbi to win this game, but I need something to talk about because there are still a bunch of squares on the board.
Yeah.
So let's see just how many more points 54 keys can get, as Ace is now going for Hikage Graffiti. So 2 bingos, potentially 2 graffitis, just complete dominance from minute 1 from 54 keys. And as you were saying, Twinkachu, when their plan works, it works so well and it looks so good. And we've seen that now 2 games in a row.
We love to see it.
Anything could happen in game 5. I mean, it could be incredibly close. It could be another blowout. It's just impossible to predict. And that is the most exciting thing about this.
I'm having trouble generating another board because I try to generally not like double up on graffitis, so if we see like multiple graffitis that we've already seen in the tournament, I try to go for another one, and I've gotten like 4 in a row that have FRZ graffiti.
We've had a lot of graffiti in this match, so it's kind of hard to avoid duplicates at this point. Oh, Jakey missed that soul. That's unfortunate.
Hard to avoid duplicates, but would rather avoid like ones that were in the last game making a reappearance.
We do love a run back, though.
We do.
So yeah, Krabby uncontested in FRZ, Ace uncontested in Hikage, but both Daft and Jakey in SDPP right now. Is there anything left for them? There's Tricks. There's the Floating Pink Half-Pipes, which still hasn't been picked up by Jakey. He'll pick it up now. There we go. But it looks like Daft is going for Tricks, which I believe spawns on top of the observatory, so he's in the right place for that. And then that leaves just Sky Dino left after that. So let's see if Jakey reads the play, if he goes straight to Sky Dino, or if he'll try and get Tricks himself. I think it's fair to assume that Daft is in SDPP right now. So I think the play is to go over to Sky Dino, which it looks like he is doing. As the top 2 players just wrapping up the graffiti and wrapping up our game 4.
Yeah, and so I think we'll be going to another quick break after this one. But
for us to all catch our breaths after a banger of a game 4.
That is one way to say it, yes.
That is indeed how I chose to say it.
I think that's the only way to say it, actually. No other way.
It's the only word in my vocabulary.
Banger.
It's a very versatile word.
It is. It's a good word.
So it looks like actually Jakey did not go to Skydino and does want to get tricks for himself. I think Daft fell because he's now right down at the bottom of SDPP, and he's going for the safe tricks unlock. Just grinding around in a circle down here by the tape. But it's going to take him some time to go and get that after...
Jake has fallen on the observatory. He didn't death
no.
warp, but so it's like a recoverable fall, but you know, you still hate to see it.
The thing about observatory is it's not necessarily difficult, but it is incredibly punishing if you do make a mistake, because if you fall into the abyss, you're death warped to the start of a level, back to Pharaoh Park.
Alright,
I'm not sure why the game designers thought that that was a good idea.
Krabby marks FRZ spray, Ace finishing up Hikage spray. That works out perfectly. It'll just like clean up the board pretty quickly, especially since it's already pretty much decided. Well, decided, not pretty much.
The game is
double bingo.
Game is decided.
We've got that Hikage spray going to Ace unless Catastrophe strikes. SDPP.
Ooh, Jakey going for a crazy tricks unlock
Oh,
on the observatory. I've never seen this before.
this is a cool one. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing he didn't unlock the tricks on the climb, and so this is kind of a backup for that.
Yeah, you don't see it super often, but it's a cool piece of movement. The game
Again,
just
Bingo
goes
showing
back.
off stuff that, even I didn't know about the game.
Oh, it's the last one. Sky Dino Special, which will be easy enough for someone to grab.
Daft and Jakey have been in SDPP for a very long time.
Hell is real, and it's being stuck in SDPP forever.
There we go. Jakey gets
So
it.
Snipes that out. Daft was pretty close. And now we'll see
Yeah,
both.
all things considered, after everything that had happened.
I know. We see Krabby working on Hikage sprays.
I think this is the last one for Ace,
on
though.
the board.
Yeah, there it is, all done.
Who knows, maybe there's
So-
a possibility he could have like sniped Ace to FRZ graffiti and then it would have been an actual competition, but that is not what happened.
2 bingos and 2 graffitis for 54 keys in this game, bringing their total points to,
So
if
many.
I'm not mistaken, so many.
So many.
I believe it's 24?
Ooh,
24
math.
to 12, I think the final score was.
Okay,
Well, depending
they've
on
got
who-
14 squares plus 6 points from bingos will get them to 20 plus an additional for her graffiti. Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That's
We're going to
24.
game 5, chat.
Let's see who picks up the Sky Dino square. The last one on the board. Daft and Jakey in the area. Both of them... Actually, oh, okay. Jakey going for a different angle, but the same death warp. I've not seen that before. Again, I'm learning a lot today. I think Daft's ever so slightly ahead here.
Yeah, although Daft going for like the fastest tape grab, which Jake is not doing.
Picking up some cans as well.
Yeah, so Jake now picking up the tape. Ace just chilling in Hikage.
And so, Sky Dino Special is the rail to the swing to the rail, isn't it? There's a fast
Yeah.
way to do this, and then there's a safe way to do this. Let's see how they...
All of it kind of depends on the cycles that these like swings take. If you're fast enough getting in and like know everything about the game, you can kind of memorize what cycles are optimal. Categories that pick up the souls will do that, like souls and hundo, but for bingo that's a lot to keep track of. Jake has missed it.
Looks like Daft should be able to unlock it. All he needs to do is land on this rail. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cycle's not something we have to concern ourselves with in JSRF really at all, other than this soul. It's a big thing for a lot of other platform games, but fortunately not for JSRF.
And Daft grabs it.
And there we go. That's going to wrap up game 4. The score is 2-2. We're going to a game 5 in the finals. Could not have planned this better. Super exciting.
Before we reveal to the audience that this is all scripted.
Yeah, this is all part of my master plan.
So we're gonna take another quick break. I might go grab a snack because I am hungry.
To be fair with the scripted
not in.
theory, this really is some hope versus despair bullshit, Eckler.
Why do we keep him around?
Because we keep him around for his intros. They make us laugh.
There, yeah.
And don't you forget it.
The writers really outdid themselves on the script, yeah. Alright, so players are taking a break. I will also be right back, because I need food. Enjoy the funky fresh beats that Ace Bats is playing and or threatening you with.
What's playing right now, Ace Bats?
It is merely the scrappy.
Oh, we do like the scrappy.
Philosophers have never really understood what is the scrappy. Just that we know we can do it, it's within all of us. But exactly what is the scrappy?
These are the answers, or the questions that we try to answer here on JSRF Bingo. What do you think the scrappy is, chat? It's a very solid philosophical answer there from Nay. Anything that makes you happy is the scrappy. Beautiful.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Nah, that's right, you couldn't have. The scrappy is a state of mind. Well, things were going great in chat, and then they suddenly took a turn. Which happens frequently in these chats, actually.
I don't think my playlist kind of helps avoid the chaotic nature of chat. The
Scrappy is the acceptance
You go.
of our Lord and Savior, Sewer Salamander, also known as Nushi.
Shoutouts to Sal.
Shoutouts to Nushi.
Shoutouts to Sal.
Shoutouts to Nushi.
A salamander of many names.
Also not known as Nushi, apparently. I mean, I'm just going with what I've heard. And until today, I'd never heard it referred to as Sal.
What do you mean you haven't heard of Sal the Salamander?
Just seems too easy.
And? Exactly. Sal it is.
I was taking a drink, because that's what you've driven me to.
Well, I would apologise, but...
You wouldn't mean it, it's fine. Anyway. Back to the topic at hand, which is this incredibly exciting bingo match.
Yeah, I feel like I've really detracted from the fact that this is a fucking 2-2 match of best of 5. Like, fucking hell. Krabby and Daft just going straight in there, winning the first 2 matches. And honestly, I think any other team would have been demotivated right off the bat. But 54 keys, they stuck with it, and they've won the next 2 matches. So anyone can win this next match. Dabby's going to be trying their hardest, but obviously 54 keys are as well, so who knows?
Anything could happen in the next, well, variable amount of time. We might end up with a 5 graffiti board and we'll be here for another hour. Both these teams said, actually, screw Ace Bats' sleeping schedule.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, you know, it's more, I hope I've got enough music in this playlist. Like, phew, I really was not expecting to have it play for this long. It gets a bit chaotic towards the end. Just warning you.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Hello, I'm back. I also
Welcome
was
back.
not expecting to go to a game 5, as evidenced by the fact that they only had 4 boards ready. To be fair, I think I made the boards at like 2 AM last night, so maybe I just miscounted, but...
That's entirely possible. Counting is not our strong suit here on JSRF Bingo.
No, it is not. You really would think to run a bingo tournament you might need some basic math skills, but no.
all of our mathematicians are currently playing. That's not our fault.
Which is probably for the best because it brings out the interesting plays.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
yeah,
also
it's just...
the commentators are struggling.
We have to pick and choose.
can't
Do we want good gameplay, or do we want commentators that know what they're talking about? We don't get both.
Do we want like good and interesting gameplay, or do we want commentators who can count to 5? You can only have one.
Alrighty, where is everybody? Where are our players? Are we ready? I think we're still waiting. We take a peek at the board? Looks like we're taking a peek at the board.
We are taking a peek at the board.
Alrighty then.
Alright, we have 2 players who are ready.
Highway Zero Graffiti on the board. A nice quick one. And
One
we've
of my
got
favorites
Shuo as
in
well.
Bingo. It's just so smooth.
Wow! Unlock Jazz is on the board. What a pleasant surprise. How
Jamie is
appropriate.
pointing out that the last board looks kind of like a gun.
It's just another one of the little bits of flavor that we like to inject into JSRF Bingo is, what does the board look like?
Yeah, sometimes it looks like a dog. Krabby says ready and then never mind.
What did he mean by this?
Yeah, this one was pretty character heavy. Boogie is back.
Again, she is now the mascot of JSRF Bingo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna suggest something to the players. No, never mind. Ruin competitive integrity. I was gonna ask them all to play as Boogie, but that might give the game away. No one has played Boogie in the entire tournament, I don't believe.
Yeah, A-List has played as Boogie in, like, non-tournament stuff. But...
no Garam, no Boogie, no Combo. I don't believe we've seen Korn. Quite a lot of the post-game characters haven't been played. We haven't seen Love Shockers or Immortals, or Noise Tanks. I don't think we've seen them.
maybe A-List did play Boogie during a tournament match. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Boogie in tournament. Fortunately, we've seen Riff, and we've seen Jazz, and we've seen Rapid 99, and those are the top of the tier list, so that's all that matters. The views of the Equipressers do not necessarily reflect the views of the entire JSRF community, just a disclaimer. But anyway, looking back at the board, SDPP entrance pillar back again, on the way to Highway Zero 100% graffiti. That's a really good opening. We've got Shibuya Graffiti back once more. What else have we got in that general area? Honestly, not a massive amount in Shibuya. We've got Points, then we've got Shuo Graffiti, and Shuo Tricks. Just doesn't feel quite as stacked as it has been previously, though. Again, Sua's looking good, though. FRZ looks good, more stuff in Kibo. Honestly,
Yeah.
there's again a lot of different options on this board. There's a lot of really strong opening plays. I really personally like the entrance pillar into Highway Zero Graffiti because it's a natural progression and it's on that column 5 bingo, with everything else being in Kogane, RDH, Bottom Point, and Kibo. So I think that column 5 bingo could be super exciting. But then you've also got, if you send one player out to Highway Zero, you've got Trash Pit and Entrance Soul on the row 2. So I think Highway Zero is going to be super pivotal in this game.
Let's see, how much is in Highway Zero, actually? Because I spelled highway wrong. Okay, so we've got the graffiti and 2 souls. Sometimes when there are a lot of souls, it's honestly better to go for those over the graffiti, but doesn't look like we're quite in that situation.
It's Highway Zero, though. It's just one big ring, so you're not necessarily sacrificing too much to be going for the souls as well as spraying the graffiti. But you have to be aware that you're likely to be contested to Highway Zero Graffiti, because it is very quick and on this board it is quite powerful. So,
It's the new Shibuya cubby. When it's
It
on the
is,
board,
it's-
it's always claimed first.
It really seems to be that way, yeah. And again, back to what you were saying previously about how the meta has kind of developed over the course of this tournament. This is the first real organized bingo event that we've had that's gone over multiple matches. We've had a couple of show matches on GQ and Bingothon and such, but this is the first tournament that we've had, and we've really gotten to see the game develop so much over the course. I think it's been really good for the game overall. It's been really interesting to follow it.
Alright, looks like we're revealing on the hour. That'll be... So in like 3 minutes?
Yeah, just under 3 minutes until the final game of the tournament. We've made it all the way here.
Maybe we're revealing a minute earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Revealing in a minute and a half.
Looking back at the board, RDH looks really good as well. Special's kind of long, but you've got Riff and Platform on that row 1. Again, it's just like, there are so many options on this board. Trix is on there as well in RDH. This is going to be super exciting to see who goes where, what the priorities are for both teams. I would expect Highway Zero to be the #1 priority, but again,
We'll
there's
probably
a-
see Ace and Krabby going there. Best player on each team.
Yeah, I mean, and they've proven that they do want to butt heads, and there's not really been that one step ahead thinking in this series. They've just been going for the skill check and saying, I can beat you, I can play better than you, and so far it's resulted in a 2-2 game score, so
Yeah.
this can be very closely contested.
These more spread out matches are always interesting. There isn't always a super obvious right place to go first, and it's always interesting to see how people kind of deal with that. Although this one does kind of have some better starting locations.
It's just that there are so many good places to go. All of the stacked areas have great positioning on the board. You've got 2 FRZ souls on a diagonal bingo. You've got the SDPP into Highway 0 on column 5. RDH on row 1. It just seems like everything is really good here.
Yeah.
So it really
Alright,
could go
players have
anywhere.
reviewed the board. Will be going in soon. 30 seconds? A little more than 30 seconds. Now it's 30 seconds. Alright, this is the last game of the bingo tournament, which is exciting and also kind of sad. Whatever
All good
will we
things
do
must
for
come
the
to an
next few
end.
months?
Rest.
Gonna have to find a new hobby. I have been joking that. Hold on, let me count this in.
I mean, this tournament has been a blast to follow, to commentate. I think it's just been such a great community event, and thank you, Twinkachu, for organising it. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to everyone in chat for turning up. It's been a real blast, and I definitely think we'll be doing more things like this again in the future. Game
yeah.
5 begins.
I've already got exciting plans for a future season of bingo, but we can talk about that later because we've got bingo to watch.
Yeah, so actually it's Jakey that goes out to Darkside versus Krabby. So we'll see how
It's a bold play.
the newer player faces up against Krabby in a graffiti route in Highway 0, or whether he adapts and tries to find something else on this side of the map, whilst Krabby goes for the perhaps more obvious play of the Highway 0 graffiti. So we see Ace in RDH in classic Ace style, going for as many souls as possible in the early game. It's going to be quick and easy to get
That's
around.
going the bottom point. That's
Wait a sec. Is Ace is
interesting.
just straight up leaving RDH? He gets the default and leaves. Doesn't go for Rift, doesn't go for Special, quite long-ish. So he's just getting that first default soul and then immediately moving out to Sewers.
Jake is prioritizing souls. He is reading that Krabby will be going hard for that graffiti, and instead, like, playing kind of in response to that. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, so this is it for 54 keys. They wait till game 5 to switch things up a bit. It's still very much within their wheelhouse of get early board control, but instead of butting heads with Dabbi here, they're trying to read their movements and respond accordingly. But we do see Ace and Daft in bottom point.
Daft to something. I think he did. Bottom point is one of those areas where good movement will really save you. Like, you can manage to kind of navigate your way through bottom point if you don't exactly completely know what you're doing, but really good movement and familiarity with the area can save you so much time.
So we're gonna see Ace is gonna pick up the air soul in bottom point. Daft gets himself 2. But now he's in bottom point, he's committed, he's as deep as Ace is, so though he gets 1 extra soul, they're both going to leave at pretty much the same time. It's going to be a matter of seconds between them, and we'll see where else they go after this, because I think that's everything in bottom point now locked in.
See, Jake picked up those 2 Highway 0 ones and entrance pillar.
I really like this play from Jake. This is really smart. Now in 99th, getting some unlocks, whilst Krabby is still working on Highway 0 graffiti, and yes, that's 3 points, but just look at what Jake has been able to
got 3
take in
points in the
response.
time it took him to do that, yeah.
And yeah, again, this sets the tempo and it puts 54 keys in a great position to work towards a column 3 bingo. Ace now in FRZ, and again, 54 keys have put Dabbi exactly where they want them to be on the map. And it looks like they're just gonna, I feel like almost uncontested, lock in this bingo. I mean, Daft is here, he's a little bit behind Ace.
Krabby now in 99th as well, but Jake already... Oh, Jake missed it.
No, you missed it.
There's a backup if he goes for it.
This
Is he
will
going
come
to go
down
for
to
the cool
execution.
backup? Yeah. This is a cool backup.
Oh,
but he misses
not
it.
if you miss it though. That's
But
unfortunate. And
Krabby's not even going for the soul.
He's been psyched out. The
Yeah.
mental game won by 54 keys here means that despite his mistakes, Jakey's still going to get this soul. And now Ace and Daft rushing towards the FRZ special soul. Looks like Daft hasn't even got the tape yet. And Ace has already unlocked it. So again, execution being really, really important here, but you see both sides of the coin because Jakey makes some mistakes, but the mental game and the tactical game from 54 keys puts them at an advantage in 99th Street, whilst their mechanical gameplay puts them at an advantage in FRZ.
Yeah. I think kind of the combination of like tactics
That's a
and then
bingo.
good game. Already a bingo.
7 minutes,
so early.
not even, into the game.
How many? The other team has 3 squares marked. One of them is a graffiti, which helps them
54
out. a bit.
keys, man.
Yeah, kind of this combination of like bingo tactics and like understanding the good plays and also understanding your opponent combined with like really good game skill and movement is you kind of need all of that to be really good at bingo. You kind of need all of the JSRF skills.
And we've said it before, but so much of being good at bingo doesn't necessarily come from being good at JSRF as well. You've got to have a whole nother dimension of tactical and strategic mindset to succeed. And we're
And now-
seeing that really in full effect here.
Jake getting started on that Shibuya graffiti to kind of counteract the extra points to kind of balance out Dabby's Highway 0 graffiti.
And since those are we've still got Chuo. Okay, so there's still another graffiti, so that could swing things. But as we said, Jakey did manage to pick up an even or equal amount of points to Krabby in that early game when they moved out to Darkside. So this is actually going to just further their advantage and set them up for a potential bingo on column 2, a potential bingo on row 3. Again, 54 keys have everything at their disposal, and Dabbi have to play catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, something I know particularly Jake is very good at, kind of in terms of bingo strategy, but then also to an extent Ace. He is very good at setting things up, setting up things like bingos and kind of making his opponent assume he'll be in one place and then completely ignoring that and baiting them into going there while he does something else.
We've seen that so much in the last 3 games now from 54 keys, where they've manipulated Dabbi into being exactly where they want them to be on the board or on the map.
Yeah, I have fallen victim to Jake's mind games in bingo before, and they make me angry every time. Like, Jake only started playing bingo for this tournament, and he can already pretty consistently beat me at bingo, which is, I don't know, partially a testament to my inconsistency, but also says a lot about his kind of strategic brain and how quickly he's gotten good.
Yeah, I mean, to say it again, this has been such an exciting tournament in so many ways, and Jakey and Duff coming in as not just new bingo players, but new runners to the game at the beginning of this tournament. And then both being here in the finals, it's perfect. It's like we scripted it.
Because we did, remember?
Of course, yes.
Yes, of course. This whole thing is scripted, and we are paid actors who are being paid a lot of money for our time and effort.
God, I wish.
Let's see. What's going on the board?
I feel like Dabbi really needs to rush for these graffiti, but Jakey...
Yeah, Jake also went for that really slick unlock. The Shibuya points. He missed the soul, but if you can nail that, that's really cool. What is Ace doing?
What is Krabby doing?
Ace is standing still. Krabby in the
Krabby's
bingo room is just now realizing he forgot to mark something.
Not sure exactly what this means for the competitive integrity of this game, but for now we'll just keep on calling the shots as we see them. I think we'll have to go back and rewatch the VOD later on to see if that actually does make a difference.
The other Krabby now getting started on this Shibuya graffiti. I think Jake has enough of a head start that it's gonna go to him. There aren't a ton of places where you can really ruin this for yourself in Shibuya graffiti. Like, it's pretty non-linear in a way that makes it hard to like completely mess up.
There it is.
It's not that punishing. Yeah, there we go.
And now with Ace in Chuo, which is the last graffiti tile on the board, as well as Tricks, it's looking like a foregone conclusion now. This one went incredibly quickly.
We've got, let's see, currently we're 13-9 on squares, with a bingo bringing 54 keys to 16, and then a graffiti bringing them to 18, and then Dabbi's graffiti bringing them to 11, I believe. Which square did Krabby forget? He forgot RDH special. He marked it while he was standing in Shibuya because he forgot to earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
But we'll go back and we'll check, just to make perfectly sure.
Yeah. Generally, you know, you mark the squares as you pick them up, but, like, mistakes happen. I'm not gonna punish Krabby for forgetting to mark something. Ultimately, not marking a square that you've collected doesn't usually work out well for you. It can kind of bait your opponents, but I don't know. We just take mistakes like that in good faith. It happens.
I would like to shout out our bingo gamers for, by the looks of it, leaving Unlock Jazz to the last Last square on the board in the last game.
My girl.
Poetic.
Give her the love she deserves. Do it or else. Actually, if Keys can get this, Jake's about to double bingo again.
This is gonna be the reverse sweep in the best of 5 final for 54 keys.
As Nay was saying in chat a little while ago, these last 3 games have been so good for 54 keys that it's easy to forget that the first 2 happened. Yeah, Jake did not die, and instead double bingoed.
And with that, 2 bingos. And
That's definitely. I think it might have already been decided, but that definitely seals it.
Yeah. 2 bingos. By the looks of it, it's going to be 2 graffitis. Absolute dominance from 54 keys in games 3, 4, and 5. They are.
I think that
the
means
JSRF
we have a
bingo
winner.
champions.
They win the grand prize of bragging rights.
And boy, will they use them. I think that's possibly the best prize you could give to Ace, actually.
Yeah, this is true. Sometimes he needs the ego boost. I'm very sorry, Ace. Watching the VOD. Yeah. Yeah, they really brought this back. Things were looking not good after the first 2
dire
rounds.
straits.
Yeah. We love a comeback here at twitch.tv/JSRF.
We love a lot of things, and most importantly, we love bingo, and we love jazz.
This is true. And
So
are they getting a
see.
3rd? Yeah.
It's gonna be a 3rd bingo.
The power plays.
What an absolute masterclass of bingo, not just in strategy, but also in execution from both teams. This was a huge, absolutely dominant win from 54 keys, but we have to think back to the first 2 games. Well, we were ready to call it a 3-0, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know how 54 keys could possibly come back. It felt like Dabbi had the download complete. They knew exactly what to do to respond to 54 keys' strategy. But 54 keys stuck to their guns and absolutely pulled it out in the last 3 games in triumphant fashion.
And then also going into this match, I think looking at the statistics, Dabbi was ahead on a whole bunch of things. I think they were ahead on... Dabbi was undefeated going into this. They haven't lost any of their matches. They've got more game wins. Yeah. I don't know
Dabbi
how
were favorites statistically coming in, but the stats got closer and closer and closer between these 2 teams as time went on. And when it came down to it in the head-to-head, 54 keys, I don't know if you can call it an upset win because of how dominant those last 3 games were. But whatever happened, it was some of the best bingo I think I've
It sure
ever
did
seen.
happen. Alright. We've got Daft and Krabby. Let me get Ace and Jake in here. Alright. Come on, winning team. Come say hi. Come on, please.
Come on, don't be shy.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Hello.
Oh my
Bingo champions 54 keys.
Thank you.
If you had said that an hour and a half ago, I would have said you're lying.
I know, those first 2 games were like just such a wipeout for, and then
There were so
Looking
many
back.
ridiculously close squares on that first game.
Yeah. So you obviously can't tell what happens in the reverse of a snipe. You can't tell if you sniped someone to it. So I'm like, wow, we didn't get sniped at all the last couple games. But the amount of
that means you did the
squares
sniping.
that more than likely, but the amount of squares we got destroyed to by fractions of seconds was unreal. I mean, game 1, despite losing with 2 bingos, if we block any one of those with 1 square, we tie the game at 17 or something like that. Like, the first game was so incredibly winnable that we weren't actually distraught after it, but the second one, they played real well and they just straight up beat us.
Yeah, the second one was just you all played really well that second game.
Yeah. And then I pet the dog of good luck.
Was that the secret? Was that
It was. I went and pet Breeze outside and she was very happy. And that's...
Ace using dog strats.
Yep, sorry.
You love to see it.
Is that in the rules? Can we allow that, or do we have to disqualify 54 keys?
For having a dog.
For petting the goodest boyo.
Yeah, maybe Dabbi would have won if they had gone to pet a dog.
Cool assisted.
I'll put Hey Tucker in my chat.
Performance enhancing dog pats.
Daft, was there any
Yeah,
part of that match that stood out to you?
This last one?
Yeah, the match. Not any one game, but is there any one part of the match that stood out to you?
I don't know if I paid attention that much. we live in the moment over at Team Dabbi.
Okay.
You sniped me to so many, Daft. I was like, uh-oh, Daft is powerful. I got sniped to so many.
And we were ready to write it off after game 2. We didn't know
Yeah,
how
we
you
were like,
come back.
This is... Yeah.
We know that you're a very, I think it's fair to say, quite an emotionally driven team.
What do you mean? I'm not excited. You're excited.
The mental game must have been so difficult for you in the first 2 games, getting sniped constantly, and knowing that you were so close to winning. But then being able to like reset, pet the dog, come back and reverse sweep, just incredible.
My roommate said, it sounded like you're getting a little crabby with Krabby there. And I said, yes, I speak only the foulest of profanities at Krabby in game, and he is the best person outside of when I'm against him. So...
It got worse as it went, because game 3 you had 1 bingo, last game it was 2, and then this one was 3.
Don't
You
play
got
another
progressively
one.
more bingos.
Yeah, don't play, no, you just kept turning up.
How many more games until they just wipe out the whole board?
Best
Blackout.
of 7.
9, because they're 13, I believe.
Well, you can't
5
increase
and-
one at a time. At some point, you get more than you want.
Yeah. True.
Just play 2 bingo boards at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the next logical progression, I think.
Season 2, 2 bingo boards.
Attaboy season.
The season determines how many boards we're using at once.
Oh no.
Perfect.
Can't wait for season 13.
Oh, no. Don't
Gonna
worry
need
though.
a-
Teams will be we'll have like 8 people to a team. As like
There is
full
only one
organizations. JSRF Bingo's taken over as the world's premier esport.
Right.
I am
Oh,
ready
this is
for
after
that.
we get sponsored by Green Giant, of course.
We've got this all planned out. We have like a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Of course.
At what stage do I get to drop out of college and do this full time?
That's the
Depends on
dream,
how
I
much
think.
money Green Giant wants to give us.
Green
How do we
Giant, if you're
split the
watching,
sponsor
we're
money?
interested.
If any other companies are watching, we don't care. Just Green Giant.
Just Green Giant.
Could be like
Are you
a couple
actually
other
stealing my
relevant-
sponsorship from me? Right now, in front of my eyes.
We can share.
In front of your salad, which has Green Giant sweet corn in it.
You know it.
Green Giant gamer jersey? Only comes in size extra large.
We're all contractually obligated to play corn.
And on that bombshell,
Alright.
Well, it looks like...
Whoa, hold on. When are we doing the swap exhibition where I play with Ace?
Do that
That's a good
sometime
question.
soon, trademark.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it probably can't be on this channel because I do have to give it back to Jabro. Thanks for letting us steal your channel, by the way. Appreciate
Alright.
it.
Well, we'll see you on this channel again in 5 more years.
Yeah.
Right, and for what might be the final time for this season,
God damn
we
it.
shall end this. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're man, woman, or flamingo. Everyone's welcome here at Jet Set Radio Future Bingo. Thanks for watching.